inyong lahat. Ako po si G. Tanji. And we have our first live show of the year. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got our friends here from Aquino and Loew to tell us all about what's coming up for the immigration deadlines.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino and Loew Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Hello everyone! Manigong bagong taon sa inyong lahat. This is a live show that we're doing. Immigration continues to be in the forefront of political news. Kasama natin, of course, ang ating lawyers, Attorney Allison Aquino-Silva and Attorney Richard Loew. We're here to answer questions from all the viewers that are going to be calling in. So please, if you're watching us, do call us at 1-800-553-5724. That number is on the screen. We'd love to talk to you. If you have any questions for our attorneys that are here from Aquino and Loew, they're here to answer your questions, especially about the deadlines that are happening right around the corner. So let's get started. A lot of things are happening in immigration. Tell us about what Congress will be dealing with in immigration since the funding is going to be cut off very, very soon.
Well, I think this is a very interesting topic to sort of think about in theory, but in practicality, Congress will obviously fund the Department of Homeland Security come February. I just can't see that they would go to the catastrophic route of defunding such an important organization. I think it would be just a huge mistake for the Republicans to come out with that kind of early problems with DHS. So I think you're going to see it funded. It's not something that I think is on the radar for not happening.
Okay.
Right.
Well, the Republicans are very upset. Allison, what can you say about this?
Yes, and essentially the battle over funding the Department of Homeland Security is the battle to, or essentially the setup to discuss immigration in the new Congress. And so that's the way that they made immigration. Immigration is going to be a key topic in Congress, and it should be the key topic in the first 2 coming months. A lot of people are worried, however, because they see everything that's going on in Congress, and they wonder how that's going to impact the president's executive action, and whether the executive action programs that are set to start, like you say, at the end of February and also mid-February, mid-May, whether those are actually going to go through. And so just like Richard was mentioning right now, the discussion over defunding Department of Homeland Security, of stopping executive action, in all likelihood, none of those attempts are going to work. People do need to go ahead and move forward, not be worried about all the discussions that they're hearing on the news.
Right.
There are programs that are going to become available, and we need to start talking and preparing for those programs.
Okay, wonderful. We have our first caller, Ronnie from Los Angeles. Kamusta, Ronnie?
Mabuti po, ma'am.
Oh, ano po ang tanong nyo para sa ating mga lawyer na nandito ngayon?
Ma'am, kasi po itatanong ko. Pumasok po ako dito na as a H-2B visa.
Okay. H-2B.
H-2B visa, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the
Is there
work
any
visa.
chances po na kasama ba ako doon sa yung sa bagong batas nila ngayon yung tungkol sa immigration reform?
Okay, so what Ronnie is asking is he entered the country on an H-2B visa, H-1B visa, and is he eligible for anything that's coming up?
Well, in this particular scenario, I believe he said H-2B instead of F-2B. And so presuming it's H-2B, which is a temporary work visa, as you point out, the requirements in order to be eligible are more whether you're a parent of a U.S. citizen or green card holder. Also, when you enter the United States, the different programs have a requirement that you enter the U.S. before January 1, 2010. And so the type of visa that you use in order to come into the U.S. isn't so much relevant. The main important thing is that you entered before January 1, 2010, that you're a parent of a U.S. citizen or green card holder, that you have been living in the U.S. continuously from January 2010 to the present time, and that you were already out of status as of November 20, 2014. So in Ronnie's particular situation, he entered, but we don't necessarily know when he entered, so we would need to take a look at that. We also need to know whether he continued to maintain his status up until November 2014. So individuals do need to come and seek consultation regardless of the type of visa that they entered with, because there are many opportunities as long as they meet those minimum requirements.
All right. Okay, we have our next caller, Reynaldo. Reynaldo, kamusta po?
Hello, good afternoon.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo. Ano po yung tanong nyo?
Ang tanong ko lang po, pumasok po kami dito noong 2009 as a tourist. Ngayon
2009 po kayo dumating.
Apo, mga anak ko po, citizen na sa Canada, and ini-sponsor po nila kami. Pwede po ba dito kami mag-start sa US going to Canada?
Well, as far as that question is concerned, Canadian law is entirely separate law than the U.S. immigration laws. My presumption anyways, and you should seek probably a Canadian immigration attorney, but my presumption is that it's probably similar to U.S. laws. And so with respect to U.S. laws, it would not matter where you're actually applying for that visa. You could be a Filipino citizen living in Australia applying for a U.S. visa. So my presumption anyway is that you can be a Filipino living in the United States seeking a visa to Canada.
I would say, though, going from the U.S. to Canada, I think Canada is particularly concerned about those people who have removal orders or other issues with U.S. immigration coming from the United States directly to Canada.
That's right.
You may have to go back to the Philippines, process there, and then go to Canada.
Before. All right. Okay, thank you so much for calling, Reynaldo. Please call us here at 1-800-553-5724. We'll answer your immigration questions. We'll be right back with Aquino and Loew.